College football players Jack Long and Shane Simpson were driving home when they spotted a woman frantically battering a parked car with a hammer. Understandably then, something about the scene made them pull over to investigate. And then they too began to attack the car. It was a scorching hot August day and the two students were making their way back from football practice. Both Long and Simpson play for the Missouri Western Griffins as defensive backs, and they were ride-sharing that day. On the return trip, the athletic duo decided to take a different route, and that was when they noticed some unusual behavior. The pair spotted a distressed woman trying to smash through the window of a car parked outside a house. "We just saw a woman with a hammer in her hand, and she was tagging at the window," Long told the Griffin Sports Insider. At first, the teammates assumed that the woman might have simply lost her keys. Indeed, the football players considered carrying on without stopping. But the situation made them wonder if there was something more at stake. Perhaps sensing a feeling of panic, they decided to pull over and investigate the situation further. "We were like, wait, we should go back," said Long. "That looks way too much like they're just trying to beat their window out." And the football players were right. There was something far more precious than keys locked inside the car. Indeed, after the duo stopped their vehicle, the woman immediately approached them, and she was desperately hoping that the pair might be able to help her. "The lady came before we could even open the door," explained Simpson. "The lady came running and said she needed help. She said there was a baby stuck in the car." As it transpired, the woman, Teresa Gall, was looking after her grandson, Liam Snook, when disaster struck. Gall had been visiting her sister's home with the tiny Todd, who was just 17 months old at the time of the incident, when she realized that she had accidentally locked young Liam in the car. To make matters worse, it was a scorching 95-degree Fahrenheit that day, so Gall knew that she had to act fast. "I put him in his car seat," Gall said. "I threw my keys up to the front seat, hugged my sister goodbye, and realized that my car door was locked. All 4 doors were locked. And within 2 minutes, the intense summer heat had started to have a dangerous effect on little Liam. Yes, the young boy had started to get sick. I just couldn't get to him," Gall said. "He was so red and crying and vomiting profusely. My sister ran inside to get help. My niece went inside to get me a hammer because I wasn't going to wait." With Liam showing signs of heat stroke, the grandma was terrified of what might happen if they couldn't get into the car. Indeed, Liam needed to be freed by any means possible, and fast. Gall and her niece, therefore, immediately started to use the hammer to try to beat the car door open, but they did so without success. "I couldn't believe it. We were hitting the glass as hard as we could and nothing," Gall told KSHB-TV. "I started to beat on the door and my niece helped me," she continued, speaking to Griffin Sports News. "We had to take turns because our arms hurt so bad, and he just started getting sicker and sicker, and I was panicked." Seeing that her grandson was starting to drift out of consciousness in the backseat, Gall became so desperate that she started to pray. "He started trying to go to sleep, and I'm beating on this door with a hammer, and I just said, 'Oh, please, God, send me somebody to help,'" she said. What Gall needed was a hero, and it turned out she got 2. Yes, she found the answer to her prayers in the shape of Missouri Western safeties, Simpson and Long, who just happened to be driving past. And as soon as the young men understood the situation, they sprang into action. Standing 6 feet tall and weighing 190 pounds, Simpson needed just a single blow to break the glass in the car window and free the trapped toddler. "He just took one swoop or hit with the hammer and it busted," Gall said, "and I got him out, got him in my sister's house." Fortunately, the youngster didn't suffer any lasting injuries either, although his ordeal inside the hot car had left him dehydrated. After freeing the sick infant, Simpson and Long slipped away, perhaps to give the family some space to recover. But, proving their good nature once more, the 2 football players came back not long after. You see, the pair were concerned about Liam's well-being and wanted to make sure that the infant was all right. They came back 30 minutes later to check on him because they knew about heat stroke and they were worried about the little guy, Gall said. Gall was so relieved that she offered to pay them some money to show her gratitude. The players politely declined, though, saying that they couldn't accept her offer. Indeed, Simpson said that the pair had acted the same way that anyone would. Any decent human being out there would probably have done the same thing, he told Griffin Sports Insider. The football players did, however, suggest a different way that the family could show their thanks. Yes, the Griffin safety suggested that Gall should come along to watch the football team the next time they were in action. So, naturally, Gall accepted the offer and attended a Griffins game along with her family. What's more, the grandma made a promise to never forget the heroic way in which the two men had acted. "Every time I see them, I'll say thank you," she said. "I can't imagine life without my grandson and what could have happened, and I'm eternally grateful to them." Others have also offered their own praise for Long and Simpson's good deed. One YouTube user wrote, "Being a man means using your skills and abilities to help and protect others. These two guys are real men." Another user, meanwhile, emphasized the importance of everyday heroism and noted that not all good guys wear capes. The kindness that these two football players showed will likely never be forgotten by any of those involved. What's more, although Gall confessed to not knowing the first thing about football, she said that she's been converted into a lifetime Griffin fan. And maybe, just maybe, little Liam will follow his grandma's lead.